In the real world, there's a huge difference between what the mainstream perceives as voodoo versus what it actually is. In pop culture, voodoo is something akin to black magic and associated with southern swampy areas. In reality, Vodou is something completely different. But who cares? Because today we're talking about Akuji the Heartless. Coming from the same people who brought you Tomb Raider and Legacy of Kain, we have this sorely underrated PS1 title. Now, you don't have to be a genius to figure out that early 3D platformers were jank central. It was about as functional as Klaus Kinski on the set of a Werner Herzog movie. So, needless to say, I was pretty hesitant about playing this game, because there's two types of platformers that tended to go under the radar back then. The kind that deserved it, and the ones that offered something different. I was pleasantly surprised within minutes of Akuji at how unique it was. It's not every day that you get a platformer, or let alone a game that explores voodoo. I guess there's that one level of Sly Cooper, but I try to forget that for one reason. It actually utilizes that theme in a way that is exceptional. Upon booting up the first level, you'll be greeted with such a moody and ominous soundtrack. I'd go as far to say this is one of the best soundtracks on the PlayStation 1. I mean, listen to this. The Voodoo coat of paint does wonders for this game. From what I can tell, a lot of aspects of the underworld itself is exaggerated from Vodou culture outside the focus on ancestors and Baron Samedi. In Vodou culture, Baron Samedi looks over the land of the dead like it's featured in the game. I think after researching more about Vodou, it's kind of a shame there aren't more spirits outside of him featured. Some of you might be wondering why I haven't brought up the story yet, and that's because there really isn't much worth bringing up. It's exactly what you'd think. You get killed, and then you have to escape the underworld through the help of the Baron, and surprise, surprise, he ends up betraying you. Yeah, this story isn't going to be winning any Oscars, but it works. It also has a lot of the DNA of Legacy of Kain in it as well. Being betrayed by your underworld guide and the poetic nature of Akuji seem a little too close to home. By the way, the cutscenes during these moments are barely visible. Back then, a game could really thrive off of simplicity provided the gameplay and everything else was solid, and it mostly is. Mostly. Because the game is so short, the levels are pretty much all unique and never feel like they outstay their welcome. Each level also looks different, and the architecture of the places are generally really fascinating. There's a really cool level towards the final part of the game called Gehenna, and it's this cosmic space pirate place that somehow fits within the game. For any practicing Vodou users out there, is this an accurate depiction of the afterlife? Hello folks, if you're enjoying this video, it would be a great help if you considered becoming a channel member. Tier 1 only starts at 99 cents, and you'll be able to get a couple perks like getting early access to my regular videos. Thank you. The dark and weird mood of these places makes me sad that there aren't nearly enough platformers like this aimed at teenagers and adults. I like jumping on platforms and collecting things like any other kid does. I mean, come on game devs. The platforming itself can be fun, intense enough to make my ass clench, but pretty much all of it has the same weakness of early 3D platformers. Out of all the creatures that I ended up fighting with this game, I'd say none of them were deadlier than that fucking camera. Slower than molasses and being undependable are a horrible combination of traits. The combat situations are honestly kind of crap. You just press circle until you win, or you can use the game's magic and spam it until it's dead. You get a nice variety of spells to use, but they all pretty much have the same function. My favorite was the one called Soul Seeker. Fireburst. God, I love the announcer in this game. There are boss fights, but they basically boil down to the same pattern as other enemies in the game, and before you know it, you're pretty much done with the game. Akuji the Heartless is short, sweet, and to the point, and I genuinely was surprised that I ended up enjoying it as much as I did. It's so unfortunate how this game essentially got buried by time, probably due to its ties with Voodoo and it coming out during a sea of platformers. Seeing as how they managed to do a remaster of Legacy of Kain, Tomb Raider, and now Gex, I really hope they go and give Akuji the same treatment. I would totally be down for a sequel or something because it feels like there's more story there to be told.